Good evening, ladies and gents. Back for another Conquerors Blade video. This time around, we're going to be looking at the Season 21 Weapon and Territory War Adjustment White Paper. So, this has been leaked to me. This is not me leaking it because I am not part of the PTR. I have not done anything PTR for a very, very long time. This has been sent to me. I'm going to go through it. I'm going to read through everything that is going to be coming onto, firstly, the PTR realm for testing and feedback, and eventually, hopefully, into the main game. So, please take away from this. This is not official kind of news going into the game yet. This is official going into the PTR test for feedback and testing and everything, and then they'll look at rolling this out in the near future onto the main server. So with this, we have a few changes for the Spear and Shield, the brand new weapon that came in Season 21. We also have a lot of Territory War adjustments as well. So I'm going to run through all this white paper here. We're going to read through it and we're going to discuss what is going to be coming. So I'm just going to run through the first kind of couple of pages here because this is all about when the test is actually happening, how to get involved in it, all the rest of it. I believe they are always looking for more people to get involved in the PTR testing, so have a look on the official Discord and I'm sure there will be instructions on that. But this is just explaining how to download it and everything here. This doesn't actually have any information about what is coming up yet, so just going to skip through all of this and we're going to start getting down into the meat of this. So shield and spear, let's say spear and shield, it sounds so much better, but spear and shield balance. So the anticipation time of Spartan kick increases by 40%, cooldown Spartan kick increases by 5 to 10 seconds. I know they've recently changed this and it is just absolute bedlam at the minute because everybody is just Spartan kicking everybody into oblivion in the main game, and they are looking at readjusting this and bringing that back into line with the cooldowns of other classes, which is a definite need. Territory War adjustments then. So we have a lot of pages covering lots of different Territory War adjustments. So I'm just going to read these word for word, put me on in the background, and then we can just listen to it. So, changes to the fort front participation rules. A declare war action is required to attack a fort. After declaring, the system will select the command house based on existing rules. If the fort is controlled by NPC forces, or if a legion successfully pitches camp at the fort, players with a title of Decanus or patrol leader and above in the legion can register for battle. After the command house is determined, both sides have a 5-minute registration phase to prepare for battle. Members of the Free Houses Alliance must register near or inside the fort. Legion players can use the reinforcement function to register remotely. During the registration phase, the command house and the defending house will have their house leaders, deputy leaders, and marshals select 15 participants from the registered players. If the legion is participating, the top 15 players with the highest acclaim will be selected from the registration list once the countdown ends. Once both sides have finalised their 15 participants or the registration phase ends, no further changes can be made. The battle will begin after a 30-second countdown. If either side fails to select the full lineup of 15 players, the remaining spots will be filled randomly from the registration queue. If attackers fail to register 15 participants, the attack is considered a failure and a new command house will be selected. The new command house will be determined based on the reputation rankings of the houses that declare war. If the defenders fail to register 15 participants, all registered players will enter the battle even if the lineup is incomplete. Once the battle begins, no additional players can join the front. So there is a bit of a change with fort battles and everything, and I'm sure some of you may have missed this, but fort battles are going to be 15v15. You are not going to be able to have reinforcements. No one else is going to be able to join those battles. Those 15 players, I think it was 2 lives they get each in those battles, so this is going to actually bring quite a level of strategy into the game that the game is seriously needing, because right now it is just a spam fest of who can get the most amount of people in there and who can get the better units in there, all the rest of it, rather than any kind of strategy. Having a proper 15v15 with no extra people joining, this is going to be interesting to see, and I am going to be loving to get involved in this, because I think actually each of your lives in that fight now is going to really count, and you are going to have to be looked at very solidly if you are going to be up to level, up to scratch, to actually join one of these fort battles, because your place in that 15 lineup is going to be very important. So, changes to the fort battlefield rules. The capture rules in fort battles are identical to other territory war battles. There are 3 banners: the attacker's base, the central point, and the defender's base. Each banner requires 1 minute of uninterrupted control after the capture phase progress bar is completed to fully switch ownership. Each participating player has 2 respawns. Players cannot return to battle after losing their 3rd life. Units cannot be replenished during the battle. Units are determined based on what players bring into the battlefield. Both sides have a limit on the number of artillery they can deploy. Each player can set up 3 artillery. Players can use artillery stored in their wagons. Defending players who have relocated their camp to the fort can use artillery from the supplies stored in the artillery warehouse. Level comes equipped with siege towers, battering rams, and trebuchets, so you don't need to worry about siege kind of equipment. But all the rules in full there for all the fort battles. Really, really interested and really excited to see how these actually work and pan out. Exclusive honor displays, so players who participate in Warrior Showdown and achieve 5 victories in a single season will receive an avatar frame available in the current season. Frame will be removed at the start of next season and the victory count will be reset. If a house joins an alliance and the alliance achieves 5 Warriors Showdown victories in a single season, the house will receive a house arms frame available in the current season. This will also reset. Construction rules then in the fiefs. So, players with house-built structure permissions can construct an artillery warehouse. This includes house leaders, deputy leaders, marshals, and treasurers. Building an artillery warehouse costs 100,000 house funds. Warehouses can only be built during territory wars or their preparation periods. A house can construct up to 3 artillery warehouses at the same time. Once construction begins, the warehouse requires 300 seconds to complete and will automatically self-destruct after 7,200 seconds. I don't know why, just put it in minutes, lads. Honestly, it makes it so much easier. House members can deposit non-bound artillery from the wagons into the artillery warehouse. If a member retrieves their own deposited artillery, it remains non-bound. If a member retrieves artillery deposited by others, it becomes bound. Additionally, the original depositor earns house contribution based on the quality of the artillery. A maximum of 40 artillery can be stored in the warehouse at any time. Each member has a maximum of 4 artillery retrieval slots. Retrieving 1 artillery piece consumes 1 slot. When retrieval slots are insufficient, artillery cannot be retrieved and the retrieval button will be invalid. 1 retrieval slot regenerates every 60 seconds up to a maximum of 4. Cadet members cannot use the warehouse as storage or retrieval functions. For other house members, excluding cadets, a maximum of 40 artillery pieces can be deposited daily, while a maximum of 20 can be retrieved daily. So really, really good change, I think, for the artillery warehouses here, where people in the house that haven't been playing so long, that haven't got a big kind of storage of artillery, they are going to actually be able to use other members of the house of their artillery, and they're going to be able to actually take that artillery and be a bit more of a kind of power in that battle, in that fief battle, compared to them using blue mortars and blue grape shots. Instead, they can use purple, which is going to be a lot more useful now. Really, really good change, and I'm hoping this kind of stays in there because it's a very, very nice quality of life change for the game, which I think is going to be very, very useful, especially for smaller houses that have a few experienced players and mainly new players. This is going to be very, very useful for those types of houses, and I'm very, very glad to see people contributing to this are actually going to be getting house contribution points as well. So it does give you a bit of a reason to do it. Not only are you actually empowering your newer members with better artillery, but you're actually getting contribution points for it as well, which is good. Destruction rules then, so this is the last one. So destruction rules of the artillery warehouse. Artillery warehouse can be destroyed in 3 ways: manual destruction, reaching the time limit, defeat in the front battle. When a warehouse is destroyed while still containing artillery, 15% of the artillery will be randomly removed by the system. The remaining artillery will be returned to the supplies to the players who originally stored it. So keeping an eye on these artillery warehouses is going to be vital, because as you are going to be losing quite a proportion of your artillery if you do lose it. So some really nice changes here. I hope that they work very, very well on the PTR. I'm really excited to see some changes coming to Territory War. Territory War has been very, very stagnant for the last few seasons, so it's nice to see some changes are slowly starting to come in. Like I said, these are not actual changes yet onto the main game. These are just PTR test realm server changes at the minute, so they're just going to go through all these, make sure they work, etc., and then they're going to go from there. Going to leave the video there though. Let me know your thoughts on all this down below. Are you excited for these changes? Is there any other changes that you would like to see, all the rest of it? Please do let me know down in the comments. Thank you very much for watching, folks. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Hit that like button, that share button, all that lovely fan-tastic stuff. And I hope to catch you out on the battlefield.